All right, Sam Vinograd, thank you very much. We also have CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Skanga with us. She was in the room along with the three of us and is now outside with reactions. She's been listening along. Nicole, good evening.
Good evening, Tony. We know that the suspect here, Cole Allen, was a teacher from Southern California, and police are saying here this was an isolated incident. That's important, believing that he acted alone, but also making clear that they are currently searching his hotel room. And I really want to underscore that point because it points to planning that this individual must have gone through in order to secure a hotel room at the Washington Hilton. It's part of the reason investigators believe that he was able to get not one but multiple firearms. We're told he had a handgun and a shotgun on his person. He was shot several times. Right now he is at Howard University Hospital in custody where Secret Service and MPD are. MPD, of course, on the site took him into custody and delivered him to the hospital. He now faces 2 charges, as we've been talking about, the weapons charge and, of course, assault on a law enforcement officer. To Sam's point, it seems like law enforcement had very little on this individual prior to tonight. It'll be interesting to see whether or not the Washington Hilton does any sort of screening or background checks for guests that are in this close of proximity to the president, many secretaries. We were also told that he was in a full sprint when he reached the magnetometers, that he was able to get past the magnetometers, but it was at that point that law enforcement engaged him, that he opened fire, of course, hitting one Secret Service agent who took 1 round to his bulletproof vest and at that point returned fire, neutralizing the suspect. Just want to point out, I've been talking to Secret Service all night. This is an event where they have dozens, if not hundreds, of personnel on scene, along with Metropolitan Police Department. We know that FBI also had a presence, an enormous law enforcement footprint, certainly a challenging event to secure, but one that they've had to do for many, many, many years. And I think there are going to be a lot of questions going forward about how this man was able to get so close to such a high-profile event in Washington.
Nicole, thank you very much. It is 11:30 in the East, 8:30 on the West Coast. If you're just joining us, we are interrupting normal programming because the evening of the President of the United States was interrupted in a potential act of political violence against a room full of journalists, politicians, cabinet members, and the President himself. I'm in a tuxedo because I was there. The President had a press conference not long ago addressing what just happened. And what we know at this hour is a 31-year-old charged a security checkpoint at the Hilton in Washington, D.C. here with a handgun, a shotgun, and multiple knives. The Secret Service and other law enforcement engaged him and arrested him. According to a press conference with law enforcement, he was not struck with gunfire himself, but he did get off a round that hit the protective vest of a Secret Service member who is now recovering and is expected to recover. The individual handcuffed on your screen right now is a matter of yards from the entrance to the ballroom where we all were, and maybe another 100, 150 yards across the ballroom to where the president was. We've been reflecting on what happened and also the context in which it happened, a moment in this nation's history where it seems very frequently we are talking about political violence. An offhand list includes a half dozen or more names, just the top of mind major figures from public life and political life who have faced acts of violence. And then remarkably, in this room where the gunman was charging, you have people who themselves have already been victimized by political violence. Steve Scalise, the majority leader. You have Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. And, of course, you have the president himself. I'm here with Chief Correspondent Matt Gutman and Nancy Cordes, Chief White House Correspondent. You were both in the room as well. Nancy, for people who are just tuning in, this was the salad course. Everything was going normal, and then it wasn't.
Right. We saw men in suits start charging down the aisle of this massive ballroom, shouting, "Get down, get down." Those of us who were in the front of the ballroom didn't hear any gunshots. We just got right underneath the tables. And then within a few minutes, this amazing sight of various security details for all the White House officials and cabinet members who were in the room, finding those officials. They knew where they sat, and whisking them out of the room. We know from our reporting that the president was held at the hotel for quite a while after the incident, and he wanted to come back out and deliver his speech until the Secret Service told him he could not. And I think it's fair to say, based on the press conference he gave a short time ago, he's defiant tonight. He is calling for this dinner to be rescheduled within the next 30 days. He said that he fought like hell to stay. I don't like to let these sick people change the fabric of our lives. And on a lighter note, Tony, he said, I had a very inappropriate speech planned. This dinner is supposed to involve some roasting between the president and the press, and that was what was planned for tonight until things took a much different turn.
Matt, you went right into reporter mode as the Secret Service went in, moved to evacuate key members of the administration. I saw you filming. I saw you trailing after security. What did you see?
I saw them, as Nancy just said, bundling off one VIP cabinet member after another. It was pretty methodical, but there were definitely two distinct experiences in the room. Those in the front of the room, near the podium, the dais where the president was sitting, we weren't quite sure what happened. It was a clattering of plates, as the president said, that alerted everybody to the significant trouble, and then the swarming of DHS and Secret Service. And the people in the back of the room, they distinctly heard gunshots. They smelled gunpowder wafting through the doors, and then they saw the Secret Service, DHS, and other law enforcement agencies bursting through the doors, getting everybody down. In the front, we weren't quite clear what was going on.